Hi, this is Phone Boy, and I'm showing you on the screen right now an Apple iBook. It's a G3 with 576 megabytes of RAM and a 500 megahertz processor. And that's not particularly interesting. What is interesting about it is that it is running Ubuntu, which is a very popular variety of Linux, and made it look like Mac OS. I'll give you sort of a little closer look here. You can see that the window treatments all look very similar to Mac OS. You'll notice instead of an Apple, it's got the Ubuntu logo on there. And there was an article on Dig that explained how to do this. It's actually fairly nice. And anyway, that's what I did with this iBook. And the reason I did that is because I spent days trying to get Mac OS loaded on it, and I tried 10.3 and 10.4, and the installation would fail partway through, and I said, well, screw that. And so a while ago I had ordered an Ubuntu CD for PowerPC, specifically just to play with on these machines. I didn't want to go through the trouble of downloading it and burning it to a CD, which you can do, of course. And so I ended up loading it on this iBook because that was the only choice. And lo and behold, it worked fairly well. Brought a little life into this old machine. All the hardware on it is supported, except that on the wireless front it doesn't support WPA, and that's because I haven't taken the time to recompile the kernel drivers and all that garbage, because there are some issues with the hardware drivers that are included in Linux don't support putting the card in the right mode to be able to support WPA. So meanwhile, just to kind of show you that this does look like a Mac if you've never seen a Mac before, I'm going to go ahead and come over to my Mac in just a moment here and show you the corresponding interface. And here it is. You can see that the window things look the same. And I've got a little more stuff loaded on this one, but you get the basic idea. Here it is. And this is my MacBook. This is the external monitor on it. And I'll come back over here. Now, the one thing that's kind of challenging about running Linux on a PowerPC-based platform is it pretty much forces you to use only free and open source applications. And the reason why that is because a lot of the clever workarounds that you employ when you run Linux on Intel platforms involves basically using the Windows components and just sort of running them as they are, or you use emulators like Wine and Crossover Office to try and to basically allow those things to work. Those workarounds don't work when the architecture is different, and so basically what you're left with is only free and open source software, and even some of the commercial software that you might want to use like Skype or Gizmo Project, they don't have PowerPC versions, and so again, you're limited to free and open source software. So if you want to go on a free and open software diet, then I would say, or a free and open source software diet, then I suggest getting a PowerPC machine and trying to run Linux on it. It's a little bit of a challenge, but hey, it works, and it's a good experiment to try. I guess I'll go take this to our local Linux user group this evening and see what they think of this little oddity. Anyway, this is Phone Boy, and I'm signing off.